Hi, welcome back to part 4. In this video I'm going to add the window and door placements. Now to do this we'll need to add verts and edges all around the building in areas where you want the windows and doors placed. I have a particular method that I use. Keep in mind now I've just kind of figured this out on my own, and it's the simplest method I have been able to figure out. If you can find a better method, I wish you well. But this is just the simplest thing I've found. So what we're going to do is start breaking down each opening into a square box. For example, this end right here, I want 2 windows right here, and we've already got 2 square boxes. That's perfect. Over here, I want to put the overhead door. The driveway comes right up through here. I put a sidewalk across the front of the house this way, and the entry door is going to be here. Well, I'm going to, and I'm just making this up on my own, I'm going to put a picture window over here next to it. So I'll need 2 panels or openings or boxes in this side. So over on this side I'm going to want 3 windows, and we've already got 3 boxes here. Perfect. Now I'm not going to put any windows in the back because we'll never see the back, and I'm not going to put any on this far end down here because that is never visible from anywhere on the course. The only thing that would be visible would be these front walls and around these corners here. So that's where I'm going to add them. So to get started, I want to break these down where I need to make these square openings. I'm going to go ahead and open it up into the full view, and the overhead door goes here, so I'm going to split this down the middle. I'll use edge and split. I'll split that there, and then I'll go up to the top and split it here, and then I'll rotate this. Now I've got 2 boxes here. I'll put the overhead door in this box. I'm going to put a bay window on this side. Now, to get these shaped properly, I'm going to need to do a little finagling around here. So I split these into X's. The overhead door, I'm going to make it an 18-foot overhead door. One side will be approximately here, and the other side will be approximately here. So I'm going to add a vert to about where I just pointed. That'll be the bottom of the overhead door. Now I need to turn these edges until I've shaped out an overhead door here. Now I'll need to add some more verts. Put one right here and one right here. So there's my square for the overhead door. Now I don't need this X in the middle any longer, so I'm going to select that and do a destructive delete, or non-destructive delete, I'm sorry. So there's my overhead door opening. If I want to straighten that up, I have to do it from the top view. So I select all the verts, bring up a top view, zoom down on it, Now you can see these legs don't line up on each side, so I'll line those up now. Grab them, put them on top of each other. Where was this one? There it is, way over here. Put it on top. I'm going to measure that, see if it's 18 foot. So 18 foot on this ruler would be 600. $570. 600 would be over here, so I was pretty close. I will spread, since I'll center these down here and try to get them spread out equally so they're centered. And I'll measure those again. And that is close enough. I am just not going to be that critical. So I'm centered in the box pretty well at the bottom. I'm going to move over now and create that bay window. What I like to do on this is use the splitter. Now that I've got the X in here, I'm going to split all four of these. It's going to give me a box. Just like that. There's my bay window opening. Now that's much too big, so I'll select vert. I'll drag across that, and then I can select the scale and scale it inward to a different size. So what I'm going to do now is run all the way around the house and create these openings for each window and door. Now I got my entry door is going to be right down this front sidewalk, and we'll do a bigger view again. I'm going to put a window here, the door here, so I need two boxes. So once again, I'm going to use my splitter. I'm going to split this down here, split this up here, rotate, and there are my two boxes. Now I'm going to put my walk-in door right here, so I'll select my vert, and I'll put one here and another one about where I think is the right distance. Now I'm going to split these again, there and there, and here is a square I can use for my door. This is in my way, so I'm going to rotate it over the other direction like such, and then I'll get my vert move tool and from the top view zoom in. I'm going to align the tops with the bottoms here. So should take care of that one. And that should take care of that one. I'll measure those. I always make a door 4 feet wide. Now, you can do whatever you want, but I'm just going to say 4 feet for my doors. 4 feet on this is about, well, 3 feet is 100, and another foot is another 33, so 133 technically is 4 feet. So I'll select a ruler, take a look. I'm at way too wide, so I'm going to go over here, take a look. I'll move it from the corner toward that way. So I'll just move this side. Once again, measure it. 159. I'll move it a little further. Okay, that's good right there. So now I'll kind of fine tune it a little bit. Down here. Set that on top. Do the same on this one. And I think I can bring these both inward and line this up just a little bit better. So there we go now. That's good enough for me right there. So now I got the right width on the door. Of course, look how low it is compared to the ceiling. And we'll get to all of that toward the end of it here. Right now I'm just creating the openings themselves. Okay, here's a window I'm going to put right here. Turn off my ruler. I need this X once again to create this window. Open this up to a full view. Just get my edge, split that, and then split all four of these to create a box. There's another window opening. Once again, you can choose to size it however you want. I'm just creating these temporarily and keeping them ready to size later. Once you get a non-destructive delete on that cross piece, don't need it there for now. Want to hold down the clutter. Now on this front, we're going to want two more windows. So again, edge, split that, split this, go all the way around them. Now I'm going to do a drag select on those and scale. Bring them both down to what is close to the right size. I'll deselect one here and then go back to the top view. And I'll center these in their little individual boxes. Okay, I'll select vert, move tool. You can pull this out and you can see what is center right up and through here. You just eyeball it. You don't have to be perfect. And that looks like it's pretty well centered to me right there. I'm not concerned about sizing that window at this point. I'll do that when I decide what kind of a window I'm going to put in there. Okay. Once again, centered. Good. Now I'm going to move these cross pieces. Those are done. And we got three in the back right here. So back to edge, split each one of these. I want three windows here. That's too many to do all at one time here, but I think I can do these two together. Scale them down a little bit. And this one I'll have to do by itself. I want this to be a picture window, so I'll just kind of leave it as it is. All right, now I think that finishes the windows. Got 3 on this end, 2 right here on the front, 1 there, a man door, bay window, and the overhead door. That's it. Okay, we've just created all the openings for the overhead doors and the windows, and I'll be back in the next video to create the roof and the shingles. I'm sorry, the gutters. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.